Welcome to another edition of Laurie Maves ART live painting. Today I've been looking at this big floral for a while now. Hi guys. Hi Robert. Hi Jennifer. Thanks for joining. I keep looking at this painting and it makes me crazy that I haven't completed it. So I think in the next hour, between 2:15 and 3:15, I might be able to accomplish that. So thanks for joining me. If you do have questions, you can always put them in the chat. I turn around every once in a while to see if anybody has any questions, comments, additions, or subtractions, or what maybe you're interested in acquiring this painting. Wouldn't that be great? Um, so what I'm going to work on today is taking this kind of electric blue here and doing the same treatment over here, which just requires a little more backing up. Yeah. And if you haven't done me before on one of these live feeds, I just start to ramble and talk about things that are going on in my mind. No, the banging is coming from across the way because I have the door open. And those of you that know I live in the Gulf Coast of Florida. That is a roof repair from Hurricane Milton last October. So there are about 3 or 4 homes in our neighborhood that roofs have not been fixed from last year's series of 3 hurricanes that came through this neighborhood. And so that is the banging. So, but I have to have the door open because I'm using oil paint. So I apologize for the noise. Believe me, I can't wait till it's over because it's been, for the last year, I feel like there's been so many roofs that have been, almost every roof in this neighborhood has been replaced. And there are all these barrel tile roofs, which are beautiful roofs, but they make for noisy living conditions because all of our houses are very close together. Okay, so my goal today is to take this same treatment and do it over there. And I'm going to do something with this because this yellow is really bothering me. That needs to be tempered down a little bit. And then I'm going to take like a lime green and do some other additional treatments. No major changes, but I just need to finish it and it needs to move on in. These beautiful oil sticks. They're called Shiva oil sticks. They're my favorite. So Robert and I, it's funny, Robert, you know me. This. Robert and I have been, Robert is a friend of mine for the last 2 years. And Robert and I have had an ongoing conversation for 4 years about the chemtrails. And my husband always would make fun of us because he would deny, he would say we were loco in La Cabeza about dead and that they didn't exist and that we were never obsessed with the issue of chemtrails, but we just always wondered about them. Well, it turns out that they're real. A voice that wonders, students. Thanks for joining, Brenda. So, and I was about to get really upset about it because why are they doing this? Why are you spreading aluminum and all those other chemicals into the skies? And it's a good thing I'm reading about the Buddha and impermanence of late, because it's really helping me embrace the fact that all of this whole thing that we're living in. Some people call it reality. Some people call it one big illusion. It is true that it all ends eventually. So, and this has come up more for me recently, just because, again, I've been reading some Buddha meditation. I just finished actually Jack Kerouac's book. This could be a book reading with live painting session. That would be great. Hi, Karen C. I just finished reading this book, Wake Up, The Life of the Buddha by Jack Kerouac. I got it from my local public library. Next on my agenda is going to be rereading the Deepak Chopra Buddha book. Hi, Karen. That I read this about 20 years ago, but I'm looking forward to reading it again. And anyway, it helps me kind of negotiate in my mind, which tends to go down rabbit holes and really tend to worry about the state of the planet, the state of our country, the state of our lives, and all this stuff. And then you really think that it really is not a minute. And these things that we cling to, so as though I am upset about finding out more about the heinousness chemtrails, let's just add it to the list of the many thousands of atrocities that happen every single day on this planet. But if you focus on the atrocities, your whole life is spent suffering. But when you focus on the impermanence of it all and being kind to others and sitting in stillness and doing good deeds, I know that all sounds kind of trite. That approach to life is becoming more and more important to me. The older I get, it's becoming more important to me. The essence of having a good life is more about the people I meet and the experiences that I get to have. The accumulation of stuff or achieving some of these goals that I thought that I was setting for myself at home to shows and big galleries. Having my work out in New York. I have my work life. I've had my work in New York. I have it. I can let that go. When I work in a show in Italy, I can. And you keep, like, my life will be complete when this happens. Oh, if I will be happy when that happens. Yeah. It just keeps us in this continuous cycle of attachment. And for what? It's like we feel like as soon as we gain control of something, we lose it. This also has come up recently as I keep going on in my little soliloquy. Is that who else has joined? The Nymph channel. Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in. Let me back this up a little bit more just so you guys can see the whole picture. It's almost there. It's a little bit better. So if you guys have questions, give me an I'll take every 15 minutes or so and I'll check the chat. But this other soap has come up with me recently because I've had to go. We have a family member that has been fighting Parkinson's for about almost now in his mid-70s. But and I was in his house and no one else was there. I was there and I spent the night and they kind of had rushed out of the house with the emergency. But he had to go to the hospital because he had some really problematic breathing issues. And so anyway, the house was quickly. Then I got there and there was just some things that needed to cleaned up. And then I just was like walking throughout this house. And I'm 75 as a single man, lifelong bachelor. And, just kind of like going through as I was walking through the house, it was the first time I'd been in his home because it was been my home for him. Just thinking about all this stuff and the poems that he had written and he collects what's it called? License plates. He collects license plates. And so he had license plates from I think every state, and then he had a license plate from Cuba. Anyways, this stuff in this house. And there is there's a really good chance that he wasn't coming home because he was in the ICU. And, again, apologies for my rambling. This is what I've been thinking about. I can't stop thinking about his family member and how we live our entire lives. And then it's over, right? I mean, there's no fighting that. I don't care what drugs you take or what miracle is this and that. This lifetime is what it is for you, for me, for people who live in horrific circumstances, and people living in Gaza, for people living in Ukraine, and all those boys in Russia, and they died. All those boys from the Ukraine that died. and all those Palestinian children, and all those people in the caboose. You know, we can go on, and people in Africa, and people down in country, and it just goes on. Though the human being has the human condition, the human species, if we're all just one big experiment, we've got so much work to do. And coming back to the original comment of chemtrails, I just like how we are a society, we are, we just live amongst the stuff that we have no control in. Like we think we have control, and we think we're a free nation, and we think and we think and we think, and it's really just one big facade. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie down here. What I'm trying to just do is talk about the fact that our lives are so short, and they are really what we make of them. And like my uncle, my husband's uncle that I went to visit, he had a really great big life. And he is still living, but I don't know if he's ever going to go home from the hospital. And Parkinson's has not been kind to him. It's actually just been horrific. And when I saw him in the hospital, he was that man, God bless him. Hospital, you know, it's just so anyway. Again, I'm not trying to get Debbie down by any means. I'm just reflecting on why I'm choosing books like the Buddha right now and trying to wrap my brain around why we would be stuck with COVID shots that really are full of genetic alternatives. And they're finding that out. If you got the Pfizer shot, you're way worse off than if you got the Moderna shot and all this sort of stuff. And historically, every time I learn something like that, that seems to be very horrific. How can human beings create other human beings? Like we're all a bunch of experiments. And when we start there and get rapes and I probably would have been going to a bit of a depression, feeling completely enough to have control over it in your life. And really the only thing you have control over is your mind that you can work on. So I'm working on my mind all the time. So working on studying from science and studying in Spanish and then finding a magical thing sitting in silence. So seeing also does that for me is it doesn't do it for me as much when you guys are on the chat. LMG, hi. It's nice to see what you're working on. Thank you. Carl joined too. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you. Um, so when I'm not doing a live feed, when I'm painting, usually I listen to music. Or I like to don't listen to trance or something. It's how did you do with you? I know you guys are there. So anyway, enough of that. But I think the big realization is that just for me, it's just I'm just trying to live my right movie where I find that I can be kind to people and that I can learn from people, and then if I days of I think maybe meeting some flowers with my art. It's not that they're forward. It's just that a lot of things I was really pushing for. Like like big galleries, like this, that. I don't know. What do you do with saying? But I'm just trying to find a way I can show up and do these things that I enjoy doing. Painting, I love painting. So if I can show up and share those things with you guys, maybe it'll encourage you to pick up a paintbrush or learn how to paint. If somebody watches me in life, that's never going to leave me a message at the end of this. Or I'd like to learn how to paint. Well, I can maybe get them started on how to do that. It's really not about talent as much as dedication. Because when people say to me, "Oh, Lori, you have so much talent," well, I can appreciate that you think that, but it's not really that. It's really hours and hours spent doing this thing that I'm doing in front of you guys right now. And I could still have, thousands of hours into craft and still have sucky days. Or you can turn out some sucky things, which I still do from time to time. Maybe I won't share those with you because my ego gets in the way. Okay, this is getting better. Any feedback? Feedback. No feedback. Okay, no, let's keep paying. Um, this I feel needs to be the leader, right? To bring that forward, push this back. And everyone that just turned in, and if they heard me talking about COVID, or again, I know it's not, I do not intend this by any ways or means to be a political conversation. It's just a reality that we're dealing with. And, so I can really stop talking about that. That's not helpful. It's helpful that we're aware of what's going on, but it's so weird. We could be aware of things that you think about these. Guys, if I don't do this, you don't even to watch me paint, to listen to conversation about this. If we want me and know us forming and it's over the wrong. Yes. But it's usually from my thinking. If anybody painters is a good pick up with you guys interest in. If any of you have find that you are dealing with some suffering on any level, it's like you have a problem that's causing you pain and suffering, or if it's with an individual in your family, maybe it's at work, it's keeps texting me. Oh my god! Somehow I got on this list. Somebody sold my Oliver, and every day I can get a text about this, that, and the other. It makes me great. See, whatever point I was making there in my mind, it's already gone. Wonder what it puts it. I'd be like in my 60s, my 50s. I'd notice my brain function is not so late. Uh, uh, mm, okay. I'm getting all comfortable with this situation. I'm gonna go get some drinking water, but I'll be right back because I find that I'm getting a little thirsty. So you guys stay right here. Be right back. Okay. So I'm thinking, that's not right. There we go. So I'm thinking, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I need more of this. Can't stand that hanging. You guys could see this. There's this great spot here where there's this really bright green coming through this gold. I really like that. Maybe I can get that repeated elsewhere. Yeah, that needs to get connected. So that's how we problem solve. Is we look and then we come back and we step away and we look, and this needs black. But that's a purple. So, it's gonna be here. Kind of push that back. And I kind of like that. That needs black. Of course, now when I want black, yes, it's not here. Where did my black go? Oh, echo chickweed. Echo chickweed. I love how some of these flowers, they look like, kind of neon, or kind of a glow to them, which I'm really enjoying. Painting's just funny. Boy, I'm hoping that one of you guys watching this will contact me about acquiring it, or maybe you know somebody who would like to acquire it. Because once I make it, I don't. It needs to find a home. It needs to get out of here. It needs not to take up space in my house. So if you're watching this and you know someone who would might like a big giant floral, let me know. And don't even worry about what you think it might cost, because I'm I've sold my paintings for thousands and thousands of dollars. And now anymore, I just want to get the work to where it needs to go. And so if that is you, then we'll figure that out. But I'm not in the business anymore of holding on to work. Make it and get it out the door, whatever that means. Okay, I need a lime green, which I need to make. And I need to finish this kind of electric blue outline on some of these pieces here. What do you think, Marcello? He's joined. It's my cat. Right, buddy? It's that sound that drives you crazy, I think. That sound on the canvas. Okay. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these oil sticks, and then I have some paint thinner in this jar, and then I just paint. Which kind of like it thins and it blends those oil sticks in a really, really nice way. Isn't that nice? I love this blue. Yeah, you like it too, huh? Oh, it's so pretty. So I'll do a little bit of self promotion here. If you guys are on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel. Can you believe that? This old lady's got a YouTube channel, and I do shorts. I mean, this will probably show up on YouTube as an hour long video. If I've been painting a half hour already, so we're halfway done. But I do like little shorts from my sketchbook stuff, and sometimes it'll take the quotes and stuff that I say from here and I'll break it down into short. But yesterday I did a drawing in my sketchbook and it was going to be about, something about, I do these sketchbook drawings and then sometimes I give them themes or they're about little motivational sayings or whatever is on my mind or whatever book I've been reading usually is inspiration for that. And so yesterday I started writing something about this is your day, kind of not like a seize the day kind of quote, but something maybe like that. And as I started to write it, my cat, wherever he went, he he jumps onto my desk and he starts nosing around. And his tail drops across the sketchbook right where I'm drawing. So then the drawing becomes about the cat. And so I listed that yesterday, or I posted it. And it was like in 20 minutes, I had like 1,500 views, which is not going viral by any means. But for me, it was funny to watch it go, go up that fast. So maybe I could be one of those lucky people that makes money from their YouTube channel by posting artwork. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm not holding out for that to happen. But if you are watching this and you have a YouTube channel, if you would kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, I appreciate it. I don't get paid anything. God knows how many views you have to have before you get paid anything over there. I had a YouTube channel for years. And I had some videos that had 10, 20, 30,000 views. And then I got pissed at YouTube, so I took them all down. So it's not smart. It was not smart marketing though, because it just wasn't. But again, I'm really working on not being. I used to be super reactionary. Like I'd get pissed about something and then I'd just shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. And I think the older you get, maybe you just chill out. There's no reason to be so upset about things that we have no control over. I don't have control. So I felt like I had control over my YouTube where I was like, nah, this is going to happen. I'm going to close my channel. It wasn't the smartest thing to do. Same thing with Instagram, and I might just pull them from them altogether because I really just like Substack, which is the platform on which you're watching this now. I'm sure you all know that. But I do know some people who kind of come and go from Substack. I just like Substack because there's not these constant ads and sponsored ads, and that makes me crazy. It's like you log into any other social media and 3 minutes later you're being sold X, Y, and Z. Suggested for you, this, that for you. Like, don't suggest stuff. I mean, please let me use my own brain. Can we use our own brains as long as we have them? Oh, goodness, people. Okay, this is coming along. That might be a little extreme on that side, but I can always tone it down. So yeah, so go subscribe to my YouTube channel or subscribe to my Substack feed if you haven't already. I appreciate it if you already subscribe to my Substack. And I don't have paid, I don't have a paid wall in my Substack because I get frustrated when I see that on other people's sites. Like, you can't read this unless you pay. Well, okay. I get it. We're all trying to run a business here. But from my page, if you become paid subscriber, you get something for that besides just information. You get artwork. So if you're not a paid subscriber, if you become a paid subscriber, I send you an 8x10 original piece of artwork. My sketchbooks are from other work that I've already made. Like, I made a calendar this year, a floral calendar, and subscribers got to choose one of those pieces. So I have about 6 or 7 of those pieces left. Some are like roses or fantasy flowers. I like painting more fantasy flowers than anything else. There's enough people out there to paint the real stuff. I'll let them do that. I'm more of a make believe land, right? Who doesn't want to live in make believe land after the stuff I started talking about at the beginning of this live stream? I don't think one time I saw somebody wrote something. It's like our brains weren't meant to handle all of this information that we now have access to. And that partly makes sense to me. Because how do you negotiate everything that goes on in the world? But then it's like we're trapped on this little blue ball. I mean, what can we really do about any of it? I don't know. Try to enjoy yourself and try to be a kind person and try not to add to society's problems. I love this blue. It's funny, this section I'm painting on right now probably is going to it'll go away because you need to allow about 4 inches around the edges for framing and stretching. So that's why you see the edges are so as raw as they are, because however this paint is going to end up, if it ends up getting stretched on a stretcher bars, sorry, you need to allow about 3 or 4 inches around the sides. So, about this much is going to get cut off. Really, I like that. I'm going to need to bring some white back in there because I've almost now made that too dark. Mhm. Okay. Mm. That's cool. That's nice. That's nice right there. Mhm. Okay. What else needs to happen here? Hi, Terry. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Netta. Oh, thanks for joining. Ah, if the three of you who just joined, if you know anybody who needs a large, giant floral, this one's available. I'm trying to see what else I need to do here. I've been taking these dark blues and Netta, I don't know if you've worked with those Shiva oil sticks much, but so I had an acrylic base here. These flowers were an acrylic base, and then I started taking those Shiva oil sticks, which are just like butter, and I've been drawing over it, but then I'm using this paint thinner to smooth out the drawing part. So what else should we talk about today? Netta Faye just joined. If you guys are newer to my Substack, please know that I had just had a very nice chat with Miss Netta Faye last week. So you can please check out her Substack or check out my chat with her, our formally fun interview. And Netta is a artist and a writer and wrote a book called A Most Useful Betrothal. And it's a biblical based on stories in the Bible, a story in the Bible, but it's, oh shoot, now you're going to have to correct me. Biblical fiction, is that what you would call it? Um, so we talked about her book and we talked about the parallels in her life and how she now has a page called True Self Society. So check that out. She's a very lovely person. Now, I was explaining this to my husband the other day because he is not on Substack. But he says, so how is your one friend doing that's blah, blah, blah? And I said, oh, that one? He goes, yeah. I said, oh, she's my friend from Substack. And so he can't keep my friends straight. My friends in in uh in town here, people that I physically go see and can sit with and have lunch with. And then my virtual friends, which are still real people. It's just that, sometimes we have friends that we've never met in person. And I think Substack has been a wonderful resource for me for that. It's just meeting some really talented and interesting people from all different backgrounds and different talents. Sometimes I would like, though, this live feed. It'd be nice if it ran a little bit like a Zoom call, because then, like I could hear and get audio, I could hear questions. instead of having to go to my phone to see if anyone has left any questions. So, like, you're just kind of working blind over here. Like, I was watching Margaret, my friend Margaret, my virtual Substack friend Margaret Williams. She was doing a live feed the other day, yesterday, I think it was. And she was just a little bit off center from the camera. And so I tried to put some few messages in the chat because just to ask her to move over so we could see her face better. But she was explaining some things going on. And so I don't know if she ever made an adjustment there, but that's one of the it's like if you're on a Zoom call, someone can pop in and say, "Hey, could you do this? Could you do that?" And so I think that's one limitation of the Substack live stream is that it's only written. I only see your written comments. That's all right too. It keeps me focused. Mm. So if there is anybody tuned in here and people are interested in like a creative expressive arts group tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from 10 to 11:30, I co-host an expressive arts group. We do it through Zoom, and we usually work from a prompt, and then we work in sketchbooks or journals. And the group is pretty intimate, pretty small. I mean, sometimes there's only 3 or 4 people. I think the biggest one we've done is like 6. So it's a nice, what I like to think of as a safe space that you can come and explore themes or issues or things about yourself, and you can share them. So basically, we offer a prompt. I think tomorrow's prompt has to do with because I've been reading these books about the Buddha. So tomorrow's prompt is no thing, something, anything. I think that was something very close to that. So the Zoom call goes like this. You log in, we say hi to each other, we do a short meditation, and then we work in our journals or we work in sketchbooks related to the prompt. And if you don't want to work on the prompt, you don't have to. Doesn't matter. You can use the time as you want. Like if there's something else you'd like to work on, you can work on that. And then we work for about 30 or 40 minutes. And then we stop. And a lot of times people are finished with their images, or sometimes they want to work on them again later. And then we just kind of talk about what we came up with. And sometimes it's really interesting. You might enjoy like a really deep insight about yourself and your situation, what's going on in your life, or you might just be like, "It was just nice to create something today." But it's very interesting how a lot of times art making parallels your life, right? And now, as soon as I say that, how is this big floral paralleling my life right now? I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about that. Oh my gosh. This is another reason why I love painting. The time, you're in a time warp. I have been painting for almost an hour. I've been painting for over 55 minutes. And it never ceases to amaze me how painting just does that for me. And if you've never had that happen to you, boy, I really encourage you to try painting. Because it can be like you get in the zone and you lose track of time. What a wonderful thing to happen. Okay. Indeed. Please do a fabulous conversation. Oh, you haven't? Okay. Real quick, Netta. You might like these. They're called professional oil sticks. They look like big oil. They are big oil pastels, but they form a skin on them. You just peel the skin off, and then you basically have like a really nice oil stick to work with, and it's real fluid. Moves just like butter, and then I'm just using paint thinner to move it around. But hey, we're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer to the end of this piece, and I'm happy with what happened today with you. I might finish this on my own, or I might do one more live session. But after this one, I really would like to do a large piece live that is just abstract expressionism and just see what happens, not have a plan. Okay, kids, that's it for today. I'm really appreciative for everyone who joins in. And again, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to my Substack, please. It doesn't cost you anything. If you want to be a paid subscriber, I will send you some original artwork as a thank you. And join us tomorrow for Be Free Pathways. If you want to do that, send me a message. Send me a direct message, and I will send you the Zoom link. That's tomorrow morning from 10 to 11:30. And that's all I have for today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. I appreciate you guys spending your time with me here. And we'll do it again. Maybe we'll do it again Friday. All right. Have a great day. Have a blessed day, and try to stay out of here. Right? Try to stay out of here. Be more here. Okay. Ciao.